Ladies and gentlemen, this goes to show you that this administration and this government don't give a damn about black people, don't give a damn about ADOS, FBA, Freeman, B1, none of us. So instead of paying us reparations, this administration said he plans to pay $450,000 per person to immigrants separated from the border. You hear me right? That's what they're going to do. They knew we want reparations, but they ignore us and focus on immigrants. So this article comes from KTLA, and I'm just going to go ahead and read this article. This is disturbing. It said the U.S. Justice Department is in talks to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to each child and parent who was separated under a Trump-era practice of splitting families at the border. A person familiar with discussions to settle lawsuits said Thursday. The Wall Street Journal first reported that the government was considering payments around $450,000 to each person affected. A person familiar with the talk told the Associated Press that figure was under consideration but changed, though not dramatically. The person spoke on condition on autonomy because the discussions are private. The discussions continue and there is no guarantee the two sides will strike agreement. About 5,500 children were split from their parents under President Donald Trump's zero-tolerance policy, under which parents were separated from their children to face criminal prosecution for crossing the border illegally, according to court filings in a federal case in San Diego. Inadequate tracking systems caused many to be apart for any extended time. The payments are extended to compensate for the psychological trauma. I'm going to stop you right there. For 500 years, black people, black Americans in this country has been going through slavery, Jim Crow laws, redlining, etc. And it seems to me they know we want reparations. We don't even want no damn holiday. We don't even want Juneteenth or Hip Hop Day. We don't want them. They know we don't want them. They're trying to do what they're trying to do to ignore what we really want, and that's reparations for chattel slavery, the descendants of chattel slavery. And again, they ignore us time and time again. They always focus on immigrants. But Republicans are against this. But see, y'all, what's the problem is politicians. Also the problem is that black people in this country is doing vote blue no matter who. And they still robbed us. They used our vote to get what they want, and that's focusing on immigrants. They don't give a damn about black people. Now, Joe Biden says that I got your back. You got me in office. Whoever voted for Biden, what happened? What Joe Biden did for y'all that voted for Biden. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to get worse. They know we want reparations, and they choose to ignore us. Let's continue, y'all. It said attorneys for the families are also seeking permanent legal status in the United States for those separated under the practice, which a judge halted in June of 2018, 6 days after Trump stopped it amid an international backlash. The Justice Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment Thursday night. The settlement talks involve several law firms. The American Civil Liberties Union is representing parents in the San Diego case. The National Immigration Litigation Alliance represents 5 mothers and their children who were separated for more than 2 months, including 4 children who were sent to holding facilities in New York. A federal judge in Arizona denied the government's bid to dismiss the case last year. No amount of money can compensate for the amount of pain and suffering these parents and children endured under this unconscionable and unprecedented policy, said Trina Rimudo, executive director of the National Immigration Litigation Alliance. A Justice Department Inspector General's report in January said a single-minded focus on increasing immigration prosecutions came at the expense of careful and appropriate consideration of the impact of family unit prosecution and child separation. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the KTLA article. Now, when they said that, quote, no amount of money can compensate for the amount of pain and suffering these parents and children endure under the unconscionable and unprecedented policies, what about us? You know, when we fight for reparations, and we got pain and suffering for parents and children who were involved in slavery, were involved in Jim Crow laws, involved in redlining, and now, you know, gentrification of inner cities. And what about our pain and suffering? See, ladies and gentlemen, they knew what we want. They knew what we want was reparations. But instead of doing the right thing, they rather pass the anti-Asian hate bill. They rather, you know, do what's right for immigrants. And they coming in illegally. And what's going to happen? They're going to push, you know, FBA, ADOS, B1, Freedmen. They're going to push off out of our own neighborhoods. They're already doing it. And with this gentrification, is going to make things worse. Already make things worse in a couple of inner cities. And so now, and then on top of that, you forgot the Afghan immigrants that come into this country, Afghan refugees. That's making it even worse. That means that we are no longer, quote unquote, important. In other words, we don't exist. So they're trying to push us away to give immigrants their money, which supposed to be for us. Then they're going to put Afghan refugees their cut. And so they completely ignore our claim. Now, they want us to vote for them in midterm elections. And you know what? I wouldn't even be surprised on black people who are woke finally aren't even show up at the polls. Matter of fact, even if they do show up at the polls, they ain't going to vote for them. They ain't going to vote for Democrats. I guarantee you. They're not going to do that. So y'all let me know what you think about this. I mean, this is very shameful that he would do this. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve the money after what they went through. But what about us? They completely ignore our request for reparations. That's all we ask for the descendants of chattel slavery. And they continue to ignore us continually. But yet y'all want our vote? The Democrats, you guys want our vote? Are you serious? Y'all want our votes, huh? Y'all let me know what you think. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Langston signing off. Deuces.